Hi everyone. This is what happened to me when I got government housing part 110. And I know I haven't done a video for a while, and that's because I've been working on an important video, and that's this one and the next one. And I didn't know how to start this video because I've got a lot of serious allegations to make and things that I want to raise that I've wanted to raise for a long time. I've told you guys that I've suffered psychological menacing, and that's true since I moved into the block, but there's also other things that have been going on in my life before I moved in, and I wanted to talk to you about some of those as well. So, in this video, I'm going to tell you about some of the things that have been said to me over the years, not just during the time that I've been living in public housing. These things have been said by various people, including police and other public servants, and to be honest, by some members of the public as well, but I think some of those might have been off-duty police for all I know. What happened to me when I got government housing starts from around 2012 until now, and I told you that I had been charged once by the police. And although this was the first and only time that I've been charged by the police, I have had other issues with them, mainly being harassed and bullied by some members of the Victoria Police. So at this point, I wanted to start out with a special disclaimer. As always, I know that what I'm saying is true, and I intend to tell the truth in the most accurate way that I can, but it's also true that these things have not been proved in court. And I'll be talking about my beliefs and my impressions as well. And obviously, I'll be telling you about my feelings as well. Some of the allegations that I'll be making are quite serious, and some of them date back many years. But I believe that it is important that these incidents are made public for my own sake and for the sake of other people. I just wanted to, make it clear that when I say, I've had problems with the police, I don't mean that I'm being hauled into the police station, every week and questioned and interviewed or charged and in and out of court. All these court hearings that I was telling you about was actually my first experience in court, apart from like a few like minor intervention order things that I had before I moved into this block, but that's that wasn't I wasn't in court because I was being charged. That's a point that I wanted to make. The problems that I had with the police were quite personal, and this was coming from police that I don't know. As I say, I haven't been charged by that. When I was charged, that was the first and only time that I was charged. I'm not talking about being charged. I'm talking about interactions with the police that seem to be personal from their perspective. Interactions with police that I don't know because I don't know them personally, and I've never been arrested or interviewed or charged by them. But for some reason, I am known to them. And that's one of the things that I'm going to go through in this part of the series. And as I explain to you about some of the things that they say to me. So I'm going to read out some of the things that have been said to me over the years, and I'll tell you the job title of the person saying these things where I can. And I won't name anyone because, as you know, throughout the series, the point of making this series was to inform everyone about what happened to me. It wasn't, it's this series isn't a court hearing. I didn't make this series to name people, and I definitely didn't make it, to break the law in any way. That's not my intention at all. But is as part of what I'm doing now, in regards to explaining the things that have been said to me. Because of the seriousness of those things, I am forced to try to identify some of the people, and I'll explain why as I go through the video. I'm going to read out some of the things that have been said, but I can't read them all out because this is over many, many years and a lot has been said to me. I can't possibly put it all into the video, but I just wanted to give you guys some sort of idea of what I'm up against, what I'm going through. And I also wanted to explain, for those of you that might be curious about my life and my attitudes, and especially my attitudes to the police, when you finish watching this video, you will definitely understand why I say and do some of the things that I do. So I'll explain each one in detail, and I'll make it clear how each of the things said affected me, and I'll explain the context in which these things were said. So there was, I know a few people who want to talk to you. That comes from the police, and I get that from everyday citizens as well. It's bizarre. You know, it's so abstract and so absurd that someone would walk up to me and say, I know a few people who want to talk to you. I mean, I don't know how people expect me to respond to that one. What am I supposed to do? Turn around and say, oh, great. But anyway, I won't dwell on these too much. I just want to get through the list, and then I will definitely go through them one by one. We should send some people around. Yes, that does come from the police. And I don't know why the police, or not all of them, but some of them, feel comfortable in talking about me like I've done something wrong, but that's what they do. You know, it's very threatening when they say things like that, because I have no idea why they're saying it and how they could possibly, come out with something like that when they see me. We'll have to work out what we're going to do about it. This is part of a broader problem that I have, where the police seem to view me as a disobedient dog, and that's how they talk about me. I don't know why a law-abiding citizen like myself, which I am, not only trying to stay within the law, but I'm also trying to stay within the law when I make this series as well. It's not like I'm, trying to provoke the law by making this. This series is for me and for you guys. It's not for them. Okay, so we'll have to work out what we're going to do to her, is insulting on hundreds of different levels, but I'll go through that as well. That's what you get for being rude. That's another disobedient dog remark. You should have been nice to us. That's another disobedient dog remark. And then there's moving on to the things that are more psychological menacing, which is what I've been talking about throughout the series. So there's, don't go to court today, the judges don't like you. And this was coming from a complete stranger, and I'll explain the context of that as well. Clearly, that one needs to be explained. You're trying to steal my husband. No, that wasn't. Actually, I think I have had that from some police officers, but also from, other people as well. We're going to destroy you. I get that from a lot of people in a lot of different professions. And that one needs to be explained because, there's a lot of implications springing from that. I love my wife. She covers for me. Yes, I think that's self-explanatory. I will go through that one. That's what whores are there for. Yes, that does come out of the mouth of people who demand respect when they walk around and do press conferences and so forth. We should plant something on her. Yes, that is what it sounds like. So we'll go through that one as well. We should get her to pay for it. And once again, that is as serious as it sounds, and I'll go through that one. She thinks. And there was one officer in particular who used that expression about me, and it got to the point where it was basically infuriating. Obviously, if you're at school or if you're at work or, maybe at the gym or something, you might get an idiot who talks about you or maybe talks about you within earshot to try to provoke you and says, she thinks, she thinks this and she thinks that. But when I lived in the Flemington area, there was a particular police officer who would repeatedly use the expression she thinks. And he didn't know me. He didn't know me professionally and he didn't know me personally. And I don't know why he kept saying that. And it was so irksome and so infuriating and, so wrong. And it's very disturbing that a grown adult who is, employed as a police officer would come out with this shit. And this is another reason why, I just wanted to say at this point, this is another reason why I'm coming forward with all of these things, because basically, I've noticed that there are some people who work in the justice system who are very prone to indulging their own imaginations. And that's the most polite way that I can put it. They feel free talking shit about me, but the way they do it and the frequency with which they do it tells me that I think, and I wouldn't know because, these people need to be assessed for that, but I get the impression that these people can't separate fact from fantasy, and they can't separate their theories from reality, and they can't separate their own indulgences from what is actually happening. And that's really disturbing. It's disturbing for me because that sort of thought process has had a huge impact on my life, because I've had people in positions of authority making, all sorts of serious allegations about me, which, in effect, they were nothing more than personal indulgences or personal fantasies and just shit talking coming out of these people's mouths. But because of the position that these people have and because of their job title, it has become something that I believe has stopped me from getting employment. And as I have stated before, I believe that this sort of thing has stopped me from getting compensation, stopped me from getting help in court. And I clearly believe that it stopped me from getting assistance from the police. Moving on to she's chasing him. I get that a lot. I can't make male friends without certain people who I'll describe, and I won't name them by name, but I will let you know who they are, making this sort of childish and stupid allegation. We should do some swabs of my home. So once again, this is coming from police and various other people, and this is not on a raid or anything like that. This is in other circumstances which make that statement completely absurd. And I'll describe that for you guys. We should stick some cameras in here. Obviously, that's an extremely serious thing to say, and I'll describe to you what happened when that was said. But, once again, unfortunately, I have had that sort of thing on more than one occasion over the years. And lastly, I know what you can do, you little whore. I've seen the videos. And yes, I am going to go through that allegation, obviously, because it's extremely serious, and that did come out of the mouth of a police officer, and the fact that it came out of the mouth of a police officer makes it even more serious, or I'm alleging it came out of the mouth of a police officer, makes it even more serious. But I just wanted to tell you guys at this point that, I'll be explaining it, but when I do explain it, it won't be an explanation about me. It'll be an explanation about them, because I have never consented to anyone filming me doing anything inappropriate at all. I've never signed any sort of release form for that sort of video. I've never, you know, yeah. So basically, there's no written or verbal evidence that I have ever consented to any of that, and there's definitely no written or verbal evidence that I've consented to being abused by a public servant and taunted about that sort of thing, when, as far as I'm aware, I've never done that sort of thing. So it's quite serious. It's quite disturbing, and as you can imagine, it's something that I need to raise, and not just to raise, but to explain, so so people can understand where I'm coming from. But the other thing is that when these things are said to me, there's no explanation. I mean, sometimes, I'm standing there and people will come up behind me and say, we're going to destroy you, or blah, 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 blah. So I've been forced to live with the knowledge that some police are willing to say the most disgusting things about me. And I've had to live with the idea that I have no one to talk to about these things. There seems to be some kind of expectation by the police and others that they can just say anything they want, and judging by what has been said, as I've just read out to you, some of these people, police, other public servants, and some other, privately employed people and members of the public, think that they can get away with doing anything they want. I believe it's important for me to make these allegations public for many reasons, and I can also assume that if those people are willing to say those things to me and about me, that they also say those things to other people. So I would urge everyone with similar experiences to come forward and tell your story. For example, on TikTok, there was a young woman who came forward and said that a police officer was willing to watch her die. I believe she was in a road accident, and she alleged that instead of assisting her or getting her medical help, the officer stated, "Nah, just leave her there." So she chose to use social media to come forward and tell her story. The other thing is that we know that people contact the media with allegations about the police, and we know that people make videos of the police doing the wrong thing, or maybe saying the wrong thing, and you can try to make allegations about them, which I guess it's only fair to do a disclaimer beforehand and to make it clear that what you're saying hasn't been proved in court. And this is for informational purposes. I'd like to educate you guys about the things that have happened to me, or the things that I'm alleging have happened to me. But the thing is that some people get away with it and some people don't. And some people make allegations and they are hassled and they have their front door kicked in. And, like I've seen stories where people allege that they were rude to the police, so the police went round to their place, bashed on their door, and then beat them up, and then it turns into a big court case. I'm not alleging that that has happened to me yet, but I am saying that I'm in the percentage of people who is told that I'm not allowed to talk about it. Because there are some people who write books about it. There are people who sue the police. There are people who, go on the media regularly speaking out about the police. And then there's other people who are like me, who are expected to keep quiet about what is happening. I'm expected to be on the receiving end of verbal abuse and psychological menacing. And, it appears I'm alleging that I'm on the receiving end of theft by deception and a few other crimes, and things that, that I've got to say. And I'm expected to be quiet about it. And I don't understand how the media and the justice system pick and choose what sort of people are allowed to come forward and those of us who are expected to keep quiet. I'm sick of being judged. I said when I first started making this series that I wanted to make this series to explain myself to other people. And I do. I want people to know that I'm not ignoring my friends. I'm ignoring my enemies. I'm not ignoring my friends. I don't have a problem with normal people. I have a problem with people who assault me, lie about me in court, threaten me, psychologically menace me, lie about me, make things up about me, and so forth. And I also have a huge problem with people threatening me when I dare to come forward and tell the truth. And I have a problem with people calling me a troublemaker when I tell the truth. How am I a troublemaker for telling the truth? Why are foster kids, people who have been assaulted, people who've been in accidents and left to die, people who are victims of corruption, journalists who become aware of corruption, and everyone else allowed to speak out about the police? Why are people allowed to put videos on TikTok exposing cops who steal or ambulance officers who steal? But when I do it, people carry on like I've done something very unusual. A lot of people expose police corruption, and a lot of people speak openly about the things that the police have done to them. But I'm expected to believe that if I do that the police will come after me and launch vendettas against me that carry on for years and years and years. And that is essentially, what I'll be alleging has happened as well when I go forth and explain, all of these statements and taunts that have been said to me. So for my safety and for everyone else's safety, I would like you guys to think about these things that have been said to me. Think about my life and, what I have suffered and what I've missed out on throughout the years because of cruel and nasty lies and traps and things that have been set for me. And, continue to watch my videos, share my videos, tell your own story, and stop calling people with 50-foot walls brave, and start giving credit where credit is due. Someone should give me credit for the hard work that I've put in to tell my story. People need to know the truth about what has happened to me, and people need to tell the truth about what has happened to them too. And I hope that releasing these videos can help other people to do that.
Y'all decked out in police gear for this?
Yes, sir.
You're not on duty though, are you?
Surviving, that's what I'm doing, man.
You on duty or not?
No.
You're not? Why y'all in the uniform and everything?
Because I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm not going to continue this conversation with you.
Right. That's what happens when you back cops into a corner and they're getting ready to get caught doing something illegal.
We need to speak with the detective about some illegal stuff that we know about.
There's no detectives here.
We got to talk to somebody. We got to make a report on a whole group of police officers that are violating law.
Well, we don't do that here.
You do that here. Sir, what's your name and badge number? No, don't close that window. What's your name and badge number?
Don't open that window.
You open that window, boy.
Is my name Chrissy? Is that what you said? How would you know about anything in my personal life if you didn't run an illegal investigation? No, you need to do your job.
What do you want?
We need to make a report.
You're going to do a report.
Other police officers breaking the law.
Who?
Clarksville. Get the notepad out.
Nope. Goodbye.
$350.
$350?
Yeah, but I seen what you put inside your pocket.
What you talking about?
You too. You didn't do that.
Who?
Nah, you guys put some Twinkies inside your pocket.
Some Twinkies?
Yeah.
Well, I don't got no Twinkies in my pocket.
Yeah, you do. Don't think because you're a police officer you're going to slide with it. Like,
Could be police, so I don't got shit in my pockets.
yeah? All right, then let me check your pocket.
You want to come check my pockets?
Yeah.
Here, come check my pockets. Well, I got my pockets.
Hey, Joe.
It's the key, come check our pockets.
Hey, Joe. They stole some Twinkies.